always wanted to be an author?
Yes, since I was really little. However, I didn't think it was something that I could actually aspire to do when I was little. I didn't think it was a realistic ambition for a very, very long time. But yes, it was always something I wanted to do.
Have you done any other jobs apart from being a writer?
Have I done any other jobs apart from being a writer? Yes, lots. Well, I've been different kinds of writers. I used to be a journalist, so I used to write for magazines, and then I left my job as a journalist and became an editor in a publishing company, but a business publishing company. So that was a different kind of writing again, editing other people's work. And then I started writing stories, writing fiction. So I've been lots of different kinds of writer, and I've also done loads and loads of other jobs, like being a shop assistant and a receptionist and a waitress and all sorts of jobs like that. But my main work before I became an author was as a journalist.
Which is your favourite of the books you have written?
My favourite of the books I've written is usually the one that I've just finished, which sounds like I'm not really answering, but it's the truth. It does change because you get really immersed in a book, and you love it when you're in the middle of it. Because for me, the experience of writing is like it is when you're reading a book and you're really enjoying it and you don't want it to end, and that's how it feels when I'm writing. Except it's even better than reading because I know it won't have a bad ending because I'm in charge of the ending. Whereas sometimes when you read a book, you can be disappointed by the ending, whereas I can try and make the ending good. Of course, then I'm only making it good for me. And it doesn't necessarily mean that everyone else will think it's a good ending, but for me, writing is like as much fun as reading.
Who was your favourite childhood author and your favourite book?
I find that a really tricky question. Do you have a favourite author or a favourite book?
Well, right now I like Louise McKay, I think her name is.
Yeah, I know. I think that's a really tricky question to answer because I have lots of favourite books and lots of favourite authors, and I always did. If I had to pick one today, I would pick Little Women by Louisa M. Alcott, which I really loved reading when I was younger.
What was your favourite subject and what were you good at?
My favourite subject was probably when we had to write stories. That's not very surprising, is it? And I think I liked it, if I'm really honest, because you didn't actually have to do that much work. You just sit down and let your imagination come up with some ideas and then write them down. So making up stories was always my favourite thing, and reading books as well. So I suppose that means that English must have been my favourite subject. I suppose that would be fair, yeah.
Who was your favourite teacher?
Oh, my favourite teacher. Gosh. I had a great English teacher when I was in my first couple of years at school who really encouraged me, gave me lots of books around the books that we were already reading in class. I don't know that she was my favourite because I got on with most of my teachers, but I do remember her very, very fondly, because she was very encouraging when I was, when I was younger. And it's always really helpful to have people encourage you, isn't it? Tell you you can do it and keep going. And